Hello, and welcome back to our 10th episode of Library Likes. I'm here today with my co-host Veronica. Hi Veronica.
Hi Megan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yep, very good. What have you been up to since our last show?
Well, we had the concourse stand at MPH last week, where we both hosted it, and I think it went really well. We had quite a few people come up and talk to us. We were promoting our new year of reading, the new international author collection, the reading challenges, and it was just really nice to sort of see people engage with the well-being side of the library rather than just sort of like the study side of the library.
Yeah, I thought exactly the same. It's just so nice to sometimes come out from behind our desks and behind our screens and actually interact with people face to face and patients as well as staff. It was a great chance to promote the patient book library as well.
I agree.
That's fantastic.
What have you been up to?
Well, apart from that, quite a lot of my time has been taken up with the children's book giveaway, organising the forms for that and looking at the huge response that we're getting, which has been a little bit overwhelming, but it's so great to see that people are engaging with the chance to get their children reading over the summer.
Yeah, and it'll be lovely to get those sent out sort of at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And definitely be able to interact with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, moving on to our guest speakers today, we are joined by Adam Whetley and Mark Palmer from the TelTeam. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Nice to see you here.
Nice to meet you too, even though we've already met, but that's fine at this point.
Is that
was
meet?
meeting you on my first day, sort of coming into the library. I hadn't
Of
even
course.
walked into the library, and then Kate spotted you and went, "Oh, this is Megan, our new librarian. This is Mark," and I was like, "Hello." So, can you both introduce yourselves, your roles, and explain a little bit about what the TelTeam does within the trust?
Of course. So I'm Mark, as already mentioned, and I'm the Technology Enhanced Learning Service Lead.
And I'm Adam. I'm a TEL developer within the TEL team, and I work closely with library team. I'm the guy behind the camera normally, so it feels a bit strange being on the other side of it. But yeah, very happy to be here.
I was just about to say, normally we see camera and then Adam, but this time we've got camera,
Yeah.
Adam in front of the camera.
Yeah, you can actually see me now.
So yeah, from the point of view, TEL stands for Technology Enhanced Learning. So we are in the trust to support colleagues and patients with their learning, looking at technology enhanced solutions for how we can improve learning, make it more efficient, make it more credible in some cases. But we're not here simply for technology. We use a lot of technology. We love technology, but technology is not always the solution. So we're very much, technology is not the answer. Let's see if there are other things first. Okay, we will use technologies to assist us. So we always look at the best options, not just the options we may want to use because we want to play with fancy toys. It's about what makes the most sense for that solution.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that we've had a really great time sort of interacting with you guys. And when we originally had the idea for the podcast, it was absolutely amazing to sort of get that support from you guys to be able to actually run the podcast and have it recorded professionally so that it actually sounds as good as it does rather than just us with a phone microphone in the library.
Yeah.
A lot of podcasts still don't do that. There's a lot of professional ones where there's awful sound and, the sound is really important. I know Adam's done a fantastic job with your podcast. So, I'm glad you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think with podcasts, as you said, there is loads of podcasts out there, but with the library team developing this podcast now, it's just been a pleasure because it's really interesting from my point of view because I can learn so much from the guests you have on, including ourselves.
We'll learn so much from ourselves.
We do.
You learn so much from me. And likewise.
It's really the other way around.
I was just going to add that I think one of the great things of interacting with you is not just that you're just so expert in all the technology, but you make it such fun and you're really good at putting us and whichever guest we have on completely at ease so that it just seems like a really natural, fun thing to do. So I just want to say thank you for that because actually I think it makes the whole thing flow better, sound better. It's not just the technology, it's you as a person as well.
Yeah, I think I get a lot of
it is brilliant.
I get a lot of pleasure from just making people feel comfortable in front of camera because it is a scary thing when people come on camera and they don't know what to say, and especially with a podcast. I mean, we've had several people come on to the podcast quite nervous.
Yeah.
But I think yourselves and the TEL team have really helped to calm those people down, and then we have a great conversation.
Yeah, and like listening back to the previous podcast, like you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's a key thing. Part of our kind of makeup is we have to make people feel comfortable. We never would just, here's a camera, you talk now. It's about, okay, let's get used to the camera. Let's get used to the auto cue. Let's get used to speaking with a microphone in front of your face. And it's really important because otherwise the end product doesn't work.
And that applies to patients as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, as we've discussed, many people can be nervous about new technology. So, how do you help people build that like digital confidence?
Yeah, so I think with to build that digital confidence, it is. I think it relates to what we just said. Is kind of putting people at ease. So if someone was to come to us and say, "Look, I have like a massive policy I need to teach people," we would then give them the options to say, "Okay, well, could this be like an e-learning package? Could it be a Rise course?" So for those who don't know, a Rise course is kind of like a streamlined e-learning package, because when people think e-learning, they think, oh no, here we go, like loads of slides, 100 slides, and we all click next, next, next. But what we do now is we develop Rise courses to streamline that. So it's almost like you go on your smartphone and you can scroll up and down. The presentation is just really nice and slick, which is what we want. And I'm a big fan of giving learners their own agency for their learning, rather than locking them down into, let's say, an hour and a half e-learning course. With Rise, we can set it up to say, okay, here's like 10 lessons, and you can really um, come and go as you want, really, when you have time.
And I think that's exactly right. And I think any new technology, there's a bit of a fear around it. And certainly, AI is not a new technology now. We've been living with AI in the lives, well, for decades, but obviously it's really taken prominence in the last 3 to 4 years. And the things, there is a lot of fear around that as well. And it's trying to make people realize that, yes, it is new. Yes, it can be scary, but all of these things are tools. And it's about harnessing those tools to support you, not replacing something with the tool. The tool is there to support what you're doing and to enhance it and make it more efficient. So it's trying to kind of take away some of the myth behind some of these things to say, look, they're there. Don't be scared of them. And we're here to support you in those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that when we've been developing our sort of like online training as well, you guys have been a massive support for our team as well, and just helping spread that shared learning across the organization. So what kind of support and digital tools can our staff get from your team, and how have you supported staff within our trust?
So in terms of the tools, we're here for video creation, for e-learn creation. We can support with VR and AR. We support to a certain extent with AI, but we're certainly not the AI people. There is the data science team, and if there are any real AI concerns, you should go to them and obviously make sure everything you're doing follows policy and everything else. Um, but as Adam said, e-learning, there is a bit of a, oh no, e-learning element to it, and we try and make it more engaging. We look at what the content is, and the main goal is to make whatever we create engaging for the learner or for the patient watching it. And so, where possible, we would rather show you what we are trying to get across than tell you. So, if we can put you in the shoes of a patient or a clinician, then we will do that. So maybe it's an interactive movie, or rather than let's just have a written story about this patient's journey, let them tell their story. Let them see behind a bit of their lives in it. And I know Adam did one a while ago for someone who had been bereaved, and just showing her story rather than just, this is what it's like to be bereaved. Well, actually, let's hear what it's like to be bereaved. And I've developed some dementia scenarios where, well, let's not just tell you what it's like to have dementia. Let you can experience what it's like to have dementia or delirium, and that's really important to us. So where possible, that is what we will do. But anyone can come to us, and we do say, we did our teacher trainer update recently. Come to us with the craziest idea you have. We're more than happy to hear it. We might have to talk you down a little bit, but there's a good chance we can do something with what you've come to. As long as there's a valid learning purpose behind it, and there's an audience that are going to be viewing it, then we're more than happy to support.
I think that's a real strength of the TelTeam as well, because we do like work around you, and you will come, and that's what, like, you will come to us and you say, I've got this idea, and it's like, as Mark said, there's no idea that's too wacky, and we will give you these options to choose from, really, and say, look, we're the experts in this field. we will give you the options what we think is best, and then well, 9 times out of 10, everyone is happy with the work we do. So it's like, yeah, I think one of my digital tools or software actually is Canva. Like we're big advocates of Canva. I promote it on my course, and we use Canva for our videos, so we always get the word out there. We can put a link on the podcast, maybe if people are interested in Canva, if possible. Yeah, yeah,
Is it for all of our presentations and the newsletter that
yeah,
goes up with our podcast?
fantastic.
And a link to Adam's presentations course, which is obviously something where we offer training as well. So Adam
Yeah.
offers his presentation skills training, or how to deliver good presentations. And we've got Rob, who gets mentioned enough in the trust, but I'll mention him one more time, in that he delivers Excel training and kind of Microsoft Office training. So we try and accommodate as many different things as we can. We are here to help. We don't like saying no. So we will always try and find a way to help you, or at least signpost you to the correct place. But essentially, if you need, any support with your learning, we're here in some form.
I think just to add to this as well is that my kind of favorite piece of learning is short form videos. And you think like if anyone needs to learn something, what do? You go to YouTube and you watch a short video if you can help it. So this is what like we're always promoting, and even with the e-learning Rise courses, like I wouldn't say short is necessarily better, but if you can streamline, I think that's a better word for it, streamline learning, then yeah, people are more likely going to watch a playlist of, let's say, 10 videos of 5 minutes long than sit there and watch 45 minutes video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is what we have been doing. So, just on that note, do you have a favorite digital tool or software? And can you actually tell us a little bit more about virtual reality and 360-degree learning and what it actually looks like in an NHS training environment?
So I think I'm going to say Canva again. Canva is probably my favorite because it's just so creative with all the graphics. With the TTU, the teachers training update we had, I promoted Canva, so you can get like animations. You can just do so much within it. And again, kind of to reiterate, I do a little demonstration of Canva on my presentations course. But
We're
yeah,
selling the course. I think we
yeah.
we spent more and more people on
Just
this
keep
course.
plugging. This is an episode where it's plug as much as we can. Um, and probably my other favorite tool is my video editor, Premiere Pro, because without it, it's we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the tools. Sorry, a lot of the creation. But yeah, that's me really.
I was going to say, because we use Canva, but Canva is very much in addition to the other tools we use. So when we're doing video, it's not like all the videos done in Canva, because you can't do that, but it's very much, we create something that we can then use in Premiere, and then Premiere is the main editing tool we use. So I would say Premiere is probably my favorite tool. We use Storyline and as Adam said, Rise for creating e-learning, which is great as well. But I think one of my favorite tools is Character Animator, which is our motion capture software to create animations based on our movements. I love using that. I don't get to use it enough, if I'm honest. So really love that as well. And onto your other question about kind of VR and 360. So it's good to kind of differentiate what they are. So VR is kind of more of a computer constructed environment. And then you've got VR 360, which is 360 video, which is more of what we do. So 360 video, essentially, you don't have to have a headset, but you can. It completely immerses you into a video or an image that we have filmed and maybe manipulated, potentially with some Gen AI where appropriate. And it gives you that experience of, again, like I said, feeling what it's like to be in that environment. So whether it's a recent one we made for podiatry, where you are in the experience of having a procedure done, which, some of the procedures we think can be a bit gory. Not everyone likes filming the gory stuff, but we get that done. There's a toenail being removed. It's pretty grim, to be honest. But then you've got, like I mentioned, the delirium one where, we've got that 360 video. You're you're in my living room, but things are changing around you, so you can experience what it's like to have delirium, which is terrifying. And I think Adam will agree, what this job does is really open your eyes to the huge range of different things that, people may experience and what they have. And if we can show that, it's a far more valid learning experience than just telling. But we're also working on a VR hypnosis app with Anna Maria Toff for her PhD for pre-op and post-op hypnosis for surgery. that was self-explanatory in the pre-op and post-op really. They didn't say surgery as well, did they? But anyway, so, the idea being that you're in a calming environment with a voiceover, and again, you can have it on a headset or on a screen, and you can look around and kind of experience that hopefully calming sensation to make you a little bit calmer before you go in for an operation. So 360 is a fantastic tool. But again, like I said earlier, what we both said, it has to have that purpose. So we've seen 360 content from other trusts, I'm not going to name any, where everything is just happening in one place. So the 360 makes no sense. There's no point having 360 video because everything's happening. It could have, in front of that person, could have just been a video. So for it to be 360, there has to be things happening around. There has to be a reason for you to be looking around or scrolling around on your phone or whatever it might be to actually get the most out of it.
I think that goes with the point I said earlier that we're experienced in telling people like, okay, just because you have this VR headset
Yeah.
or you have a 360 camera doesn't mean that actually, oh, we'll use this because it looks cool. It's like, well, what's the purpose? Like, what are we actually going to get out of it? I hate to say it, would it be better as an e-learning course? Like,
Yeah.
so
And
yeah,
that's the conversations we have to have.
Yeah.
Because first of all, a lot of what we do takes up a lot of time. So
Mm.
we have to make sure we're using our time productively. Yeah, we'd love to just be playing around with all the fancy tools, but if it doesn't make sense, we won't do it. And if I'm honest, full VR has had a huge drop off. People aren't as invested in that anymore. Companies aren't investing in it. And it is going more to augmented reality. So with meta glasses and things like that. At the moment, there are no developmental glasses that we can use to kind of develop that side of things. But VR headsets, there has been a huge drop off. And we're not really seeing the buy-in of these kind of off-the-shelf things like body swaps and things because people just don't want to put a headset on. Would rather see it on a computer screen or on their phone. So we move into that territory because that is what makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, with the added element of VR headsets is like the motion sickness as well. And like
That's
me personally, I can't get on with them because I just experience it quite.
because you're a teenager.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
It's like
I'll be saying I can't either. My son could be in it for an hour and be absolutely fine. I'm in it for 10 minutes. And
I wonder if there's a bit of research there. Like the older you get, the less tolerant you are of a VR
getting
headset.
older, Adam, sorry.
Yeah,
You get this tolerant of everything as you get older.
yeah, that's a good way.
Completely relate.
So on the note of like other projects that you've done, do you have any examples of projects that have a particularly positive impact on staff or patient learning?
Yeah, I think one of my ones is the children's cancer journal videos I did last year, and I just thought that was a really kind of lovely project to work on because it's essentially if a child came in with cancer, they would have this little journal to go through and they could write down all their experiences and they would have all the contacts for their nurses. And yeah, it was just really heartwarming kind of seeing this piece of work. um I also worked with the learning disability team as well. We did a video with them. I'm actually going to do some edits on that one. And we had some people come in with learning disabilities in the college on the ward. So, yeah, and I filmed them. Lily's Word of the Week. Have you heard of that? Yeah, I worked with Lily. And yeah, we just did some like mock up scenarios of what could happen when a nurse comes in to treat a person with a learning disability. So, really eye opening. And yeah, really enjoyed that one.
I think it's a lot of what we do has a positive impact. I think ultimately everything we do is for the benefit of the patients. So whether it's education for colleagues or whether it is directly education for patients, it is all ultimately supporting them. And I think there are so many projects from the whole team that I could go through and just say, what positive impact it's made. For me, I think one of apart from the delirium thing, which I put a lot of effort into for the 360 thing, which I'm really proud of, and it is, the delirium team are using it daily, and they are using the VR version and the online version. But I think it's that talking to patients and hearing their experiences, and we hear, as I know Adam has with that bereavement story I mentioned, I hear some really heartbreaking stories, and the fact that these patients are willing to share those with us and feel comfortable sharing them with us as well, either in the studio or in their own home at times, is really powerful. And I feel really humbled by that. There was one from last year. A guy came and talked about his mania and how he'd gone through manic episodes and was really open about it, and we took a trip onto the Quantox to film some kind of well-being shots and everything. And it was really, and I'm still in touch with him now. He's moved to Australia. I'm still in touch with him because it was such a, yeah, amazing thing to share. Um, and it really opens your eyes to what people go through. And we all go through things. We might go through them internally or, share those stories, but to have the strength to share those stories and to, I feel so privileged, we all do, to be part of that, for them to be part of their story as well.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, with the end of life care video I did with that lady coming in, and she was talking about the passing of her dad and her mum, and yeah, it was really just humbling to kind of, she trusted me to be able to film that, and I made her at ease as much as I could, really, and yeah, it can be difficult, but I think we're quite resilient, and
Yeah,
um,
sometimes I have to take a moment
yeah,
after
yeah,
seeing them because it can be quite hard going, and but I think that the whole team have experienced those kind of those interactions, and it's you have to take a moment for yourself afterwards
definitely.
because it's, yeah, it's hard going, but like I say, it's humbling as well.
Mm.
I think a lot of it is that lived experience perspective is really coming into that additional training at the moment. I found, compared to a few years ago where you might have just gotten a presentation that you had to read through, I think there is a real shift now for that understanding and that almost humanity that comes from having an empathy
Yeah.
that comes from that lived experience. And I think a lot of it, especially with, like, dementia and delirium training, is, having relatives who might have gone through the same thing, is that understanding of, you've got that lived experience of having a loved one who's gone through it, but then also getting to hear from people who have experienced it as well.
It's Yeah, it's so powerful. And a while back, um, I was involved in it was kind of a suicide awareness training, and I met a group of people that had survived, and they're talking through their experiences, and it was one of the most upsetting days I've ever had, actually, in my life. Hearing it, I'd been touched by suicide myself, some friends, and it was, again, just so powerful to be part of that and to try and create some training that would help people understand what people are going through. I feel, I think, yeah, I don't want to speak for the whole team, but at the end of the day, I feel like I've achieved something.
Yeah, I
Many jobs have that. I do really feel like I've done something good today, and I feel good about myself, and I feel, quite, keep using the word humble, but humbled by others' experiences. Um,
I just remembered me and Mark went to Steve, the mental health conference,
yeah,
and that was really good. A great day out, and just to listen to all the stories of what men was experiencing. Yeah, there was a
full day.
war veteran and what he was going through, and yeah, it was just amazing. And we filmed the conference, and yeah, real good day.
And the thing is, having that, because we're across the whole of the trust, we see and hear so many things. We work with so many teams. We are incredibly privileged, and we see some things as well. I found the stoma being replaced. I was filming inside someone's throat, and it's kind of those things we think, "Am I all right with this?"
Yeah, Mark does those ones. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the one who does those ones because I'm all squeamish. Apparently,
yeah.
I thought I
To
was.
say, we also work with quite a few people, a lot of the trust, but
Yeah.
I've never had to, luckily, never had to.
I can send it. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
it's all on leap.
But we can add a link to the end of the podcast.
But I think, again, it's like woman's come in and said, "Oh, yeah, it's quite an intimate procedure," and she's like, "Oh no, it's fine. You can film it," and it takes, and I do feel privileged. I really do.
I think what's also heartwarming is seeing when patients do consent to that being filmed is they are aware of that wider organisation, and they also just want to share
Exactly.
their experience and be able to help people better the care that we are offering as a trust.
Yeah.
Um, so moving on in sort of like digital development, what developments in digital learning are you most excited for, and how do you think healthcare education, especially sort of like e-learning, will change over the sort of the next 5 years?
I think what I think is, with the way it's going to change over 5 years, is that a lot of like short form content. I think we're already doing it as we speak, but I think it's the trend is, I think with people's attention spans. They're not going to sit there and watch a 45-minute video. Sometimes it's needed. We need like a longer video, but I think like a lot of it will be short form content. I mean, with the nurses, with that group, they're very busy people. And if we can just say, look, here is a bunch of learning, you've got the options of some short videos, like 5-minute videos, and you've got like a Rise course, then I'm sure they'll be very happy with that rather than
Well,
traditional.
everyone's so
Yeah.
busy trying to fit in. We have to do the training. A lot of it's mandatory, and it's dictated by NHS England. If there's a way to make it more efficient and make it more like chunked or more user friendly,
Yeah.
then we're all for that. And I think a lot of people hate AI. I've got to say I really love AI. I really do. It probably will take my job in a few years, but at the moment I'm embracing it. And I think AI will, the AI is embedded in a lot of our software, and the aim is to make things quicker. To be honest, you have to check it so thoroughly that I'm not sure it does make things quicker at the moment. But I think there is going to come a point where AI will be efficient enough to actually maybe create a course. We still need to sense check it and get it checked by SMEs and everything else, but it will get to that point. But it's about that efficiency. And if AI can make our roles more efficient, then I'm all for it. I don't think it won't ever replace what we do.
No.
Despite my jokes, it can't, because yes, you can generate a video, but it's not going to generate a video in a particular room in Musgrove in a particular procedure, do it correctly. So we still need to go in and do that. But it will make things more efficient. And I completely agree with Adam with the short form stuff. I've been banging on about doing the Tell TikTok channel for ages, about having real short TikTok videos. It kind of keeps getting bounced back at me when I go to comms and things about it. But I'm a huge fan of TikTok. I love TikTok. And if the algorithm is right, you have some really interesting and useful educational videos. So I get a lot of stuff about AI tools on mine because I'm a massive nerd and that's what I look at.
Isn't the Excel lady as well? That's
And Excel tools, video tools. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a great guy on this. This is how you film really interesting outdoor interviews. It's like, yeah, that's amazing. I never thought of that. That's brilliant. I'm going to try on my next one. So there is that space for it. And I know there are problems with TikTok, like there are with all social media. Of course there are. But if we can refine that and actually do something really positive with it,
Yeah.
then I think that's the way to do it, like a 30-second
And
video.
we won't plug my presentation skills too much in this TikTok.
There you will.
Yeah, no.
That'll be the
Let's go. Presentation?
Yeah.
At the end of each one.
Every video is like it's 15 seconds long. Yeah.
One side Ableton back presentations, the other side Rob coming in at that. Sounds good.
Have you heard of our courses? It's like, oh no.
I genuinely think there is scope for that.
Yeah.
But you've got to get it right. Yeah. So, whether it'll come to fruition or not, I don't know. But I've been talking about it for 2 years and nothing's happened yet.
But you think like, because I think this is the way it's going to go, because you think people can sit there and watch TikToks all night, 30 seconds clips, and it's like they're hooked on these 30 seconds like clips.
I know I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we could maybe make like a Tell TikTok or even like YouTube Shorts, just be like, okay, here's some content. We're going to break it down into 30-second clips. Here you go, and job done.
People just engage with that.
Yeah.
Much easier.
They're more likely going to watch that than a 45-minute video or an e-learning package.
Right. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll launch it eventually.
And a TikTok shop as well.
Oh yeah,
A Tell TikTok shop. TikTok.
Girls to get a presentation.
A Tell hats, t-shirts. We'll make it.
Yeah, we're launching our shop soon.
Didn't you have at the December Tell update? You had
Shirts with your.
We did have a shirt, yeah. That was with my face on. That was
From my manager. With what would Mark do with my
face on.
It was popular though, so
What ended up in prize, I
I'm not sure where it ended up, but I know that it was put on a mannequin at the end of the day. Whether it's still on the mannequin in the extension, I don't know.
Or whether someone actually took it home.
It's so. Hey, if you're listening and you took a t-shirt with my face on it home, you need to take a long hard look at me. All right?
we want it back.
But yeah, I think it's been really interesting sort of getting to talk from another team's perspective about sort of what goes on in the trust and how to support learning, because a lot of what we do is offering that support and learning when it comes to sort of the evidence and that kind of thing. So it's been really nice to talk to a team that has like a different role when it comes to that learning within a trust.
Right, and I just want to add that we get lots of fantastic feedback, and I am so fortunate to have an amazing team to work with. who are so talented, so skilled, and so fantastic at their jobs that it makes my job as the lead so much easier because when they do great things, it makes me look good. So and I'm all for that. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to have an amazing team. And I think we are really lucky with what we do because we are making a difference. But yeah, we do get to play with some toys now and again as well and see some interesting stuff. But well, because we're across the trust, we see so much, and it's so yeah,
It's so varied as well. Because I was
yeah.
I was in Crewe County Hospital yesterday with a colleague, and yeah, I could be in a different hospital, a different community hospital, or back in Musgrove, Yeovil. Yeah, it's it's quite varied, and yeah,
I was going to say, like, I know the studio is based at Taunton College in Musgrove, but you do offer that support at anyone,
Wherever we
any hospital,
yeah.
any community side.
the studio might not be the right choice. So when we talk about these personal stories, actually they're probably going to be more comfortable in their own home or somewhere familiar to them. So yeah, we'll go to there.
I think to add as well, we probably maybe should have said this a little bit earlier, but if you do have an idea, yeah, we do have a studio. So like people can visit the studio in the Taunton College, and what we can do is we've got like cameras, we've got lights, we've got microphones, so we can do what we call a talking heads video. So someone can sit in the chair and we can do like a little interview style, or we've got wards in the college as well. So like if you wanted to do like a practice ward scenario with a patient, then yeah, we have that availability for you. So yeah, any ideas you can think of, then yeah, please contact us.
Definitely. TelTeam at somersetft.nhs.uk.
And
We
we've
are
got
happy to
any links and any email in the description.
Yeah,
We are here for you.
first 10 people get a free Mark t-shirt.
What would Mark?
I have got another one, yeah.
Do they get to choose the colour of the background, or is it just going to
No.
Tel's not made of money.
Yeah. Could you think?
I wish we were.
Well, thank you both very much for coming on. It's been absolutely lovely
Thank you.
to get to have you on and get to chat, and it's been nice to sort of have the man behind the camera actually in front of the camera for once.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to move on to the KLS resource of the month. And this is something that I've actually created with the TelTeam, with Adam specifically. But it is our knowledge management mini series videos. So they are currently on YouTube. And when finished, I think we've got about 4 or 5 up at the moment. We will upload a YouTube link. They'll be available through Leap as well. So if you want to know more about knowledge management and how we can help support you sort of share that learning across the team or across the organization, I'll pop the link in the description below. Um, and now I'll pass over to Veronica for our research spotlight.
Okay, so for the research spotlight this month, I'm going to just promote the first new combined research, improvement, and project management grand round, which is taking place at Musgrove Park Hospital in the Academy next Tuesday, so a week from today, the 21st of July, between 12 and 1 p.m. And you can attend either in person, or if you're not based in Musgrove, you can attend from anywhere else within Somerset FT by using the Teams link. So we will pop a copy of that link in the show notes so that you can attend. I'd really encourage everyone that's interested in any aspect of research or improvement, project management to listen in to that ground round. And it's just the first of a series, and the ground rounds won't always take place at Musgrove. They will alternate between Musgrove and YDH. But it's a great chance to find out what's happening in research within the trust, and who knows, maybe one day you'd like to actually present at a ground round yourself. So now I'm going to hand back to Megan, and we'll just go to the reading corner.
So for our reading corner, Veronica and I are going to plug our new international author collection. Since we've had it, we've both taken part in our Around the World reading challenge. So one of the books that I would like to promote is Stolen by Anne Helene Lestadios, and I hope I said that right. I might have butchered it. I gave this book 4 stars. It's a coming of age story that follows Elsa as she grows up while confronting racism on both a personal and cultural level. The story starts off a little slowly with part one written from the perspective of 9-year-old Elsa. The short chapters occasionally took me out of the story, but as the pace picks up in part two, I found it became less of an issue. And despite this, I thoroughly enjoyed watching the story unfold, and the atmospheric writing vividly brings to life the forest, snow, and wilderness that surrounds Elsa and her home. And it's a powerful story that offers insight into the Sami way of life while also exploring the dynamics within multiple families. And I thought it was a great read. So now I will pass over to Veronica for her pick from our new collection.
Thanks, McGann. So I'm currently reading a Welsh book. It was originally written in the Welsh language and has been translated into English. It's called The Blue Book of Nebo, and it's by an author called Manon Stefan Ross. And it actually won the Carnegie Medal in 2023 when it was published. Um, and it's not a book that I would normally, it's not my usual style of reading, but I'm about a third of the way through and really enjoying it so far. And if you're looking for a short read, um, it's only 150 pages. It's very, very spare writing. It's a kind of post-apocalyptic novel set in North Wales, dual narrative between a teenage boy and his mother, and basically details. Um, the boy's perspective is sort of details their sort of daily survival routines, I guess. And the mother's perspective is very much looking at the world, the way the world used to be before an event which they call the end. But it's almost written from this event is meant to have taken place in 2018, so it's quite unlike a lot of, I guess, dystopian fiction which takes place in the far future. This is sort of set in the very near future, or possibly even the present, and I'm finding it a very enjoyable read. So I'd really recommend it for anyone who's looking for a good short read.
Yeah, so anyone interested in sort of well-being, I do recommend checking out our reading challenges and our new international author collection. But that has been our 10th episode, so thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you again in August.